everyone, and welcome to our Small Business Survival Series. I'm Nancy Smith, Executive Director with the Shawano Country Chamber of Commerce. And today I am with Wendy Savage, who is the Executive Director of the North Central Chapter, Wisconsin American Red Cross. I hope I got all that right.
You did. Thank you.
So, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me speak today. I appreciate it.
Yes. So why don't you start out just by telling us where your office is located and just a little bit about the Red Cross.
Okay. Well, our office for this particular chapter, we have 5 chapters in the state. Our office is located in Wausau. We are not there at the moment. We are virtual, so we're working from home. And it's a very small office. We don't have a lot of real estate because we don't spend a lot of time there because I have 12 counties in Wisconsin and 5 in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So we travel a lot to see our volunteers, to network with our leadership volunteers and just meet with folks. So Shawano and Menominee counties are 2 of my counties on my eastern border. So we move around a lot. If we're not in the office, we're out meeting with people. So reaching us by cell phone is the best way to go.
Okay. So for those people who aren't familiar at all with Red Cross, why don't you just kind of give us an overview of the services and programs you have?
Sure. There's quite a few services that we do offer. So we collect about 40% of the nation's blood supply. We have a national blood bank, and there are blood drives in your area. So people are welcome to make an appointment and schedule a donation. We teach CPR and first aid to individuals and to corporations. We can do that through blended learning. We can do it through virtual learning. And we can do it on site. So we do have COVID protocols in place for anyone who wants on-site training. And we also have a program where a corporation could train a trainer and they can train as needed from 1 to, maybe up to 10 individuals, but train as they need to. We also support our armed forces, our active duty military, providing emergency communications between families and active duty folks, and also supporting veterans and their families for emotional needs, some financial needs, and then hospitals, VA hospitals, we have programs there, social activities and emotional support there as well. We, of course, I think we're well known for our disaster services. We, have over 60,000 of those every year across the country. We respond locally to home fires, and some of our folks do respond nationally to those larger disasters. For businesses, we have a Ready Rating program, which is a no-cost membership where you can test out your readiness for emergencies, your preparedness, and there's resources there to help you get started, and also to help your employees and your community get better prepared for emergencies. And we do this through the power of volunteers. 90% of what gets done done by a volunteer. And that's why staff are out and about meeting with volunteers and supporting them in what they need to get this done. So we couldn't do this without volunteers. And of course, we can't do it without donations from the public as well. So we're publicly funded through donations.
So just a couple questions. So your preparedness evaluation or assessment that you do. So give us a little overview of that.
Ready Rating program, there's a Ready Go program. It's 25 questions that are related to preparedness. I don't have the questions. You can go out to readyrating.org and just take a look for yourself. And then there's an advanced program that has more in-depth questions where you can test your readiness. It helps you identify where you have weaknesses and where you can make your plan better. So it's for businesses, organizations, and schools. So there are some specific sections there because there are differences in those kinds of organizations. So it's a free tool. I would just go out and look at it. There are templates that you can download and put your own name, your own, logo on there to use them. There's exercises, all kinds of resources out there at no cost for businesses. Great way for, a small business that may not have money for a consultant just to get started and to find out what they need to know.
Great, perfect. And we'll have links at the end of the program for people. Blood drives, is that really needed more now than ever?
It is always needed. Every 2 seconds, someone in the United States needs a blood product. So that need is absolutely constant. Wisconsin is a wonderful provider of blood products. We have really loyal donors that come out in all kinds of weather. Rarely do we cancel a drive, but in other parts of the country, drives are canceled, and they will look to us to make up that difference, which we have been. Even in COVID, changing our protocols, making sure we have distancing. We've had to change sites. We usually do a lot of drives in schools, and sometimes that's just not available to us. We've had to relocate, but with the help of community members and business members, we've been able to do that. But we're always looking for new drives because that need is constant. It's just absolutely constant. So you do have drives coming up in March and in April. In your communities. Right now it's by appointment. Because of COVID, we don't really want walk-ins because we don't want people congregating in the area. We're trying to keep traffic down. And it also makes the drive very efficient. You don't have to wait. If you have an appointment, you know when you're going to be there, or we'll be ready for you, and you go right in. So you can go to redcrossblood.org and sign up for an appointment.
And where do you typically have those in this area?
There's one, the town of Grant Hall is having one.
Okay.
Shawano City Hall is having one in March. Church of Latter-day Saints Church is having one. St. Paul Lutheran Church and Bowler High School is having one in April.
Awesome.
So they're all over the place. And if you go online, you can set your search characteristics to how many miles you want to travel. I think up to 50 miles or so, depending where you're at, what part of the county you're in, might want to cross over to a different spot.
Okay, excellent. You had mentioned earlier about assistance for home fires. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We work with our police and fire departments that we ask them to call us whenever a human is involved in a home fire so that we can have a responder contact the members who are living in that residence for emotional support. That's a kind of event that nobody has a playbook for. It's not something that you expect. You may not understand what's happening during the progress of the fire and what do I do afterwards. If you follow your escape plan, you've run out and you probably have nothing. It could be in the middle of the night. You could be standing there in your pajamas and you go, well, what do I do? And they may not let you back into the house. You may not have power. There may be noxious fumes, may not be structurally sound. So the Red Cross is there to help you, to get you to a safe place, or hotel room, give you a little financial assistance so you can feed yourself and your kids, maybe buy some replacement clothing because you can't go to work in your PJs so we provide that assistance to you, and we stay with the client. We help them make a recovery plan. We make referrals to other community agencies so that they can get long-term support. We have health services people. If you need to replace your eyeglasses, your medications, assistive equipment, we can help you with that. And then if there does happen to be a death, we have a care team that assists with that and supports you through the process of funeral arrangements. So it's all encompassing. It's all in the background kind of thing. Right now it's virtual. We're talking mostly by phone to people. We're putting people up in hotels because it's probably not appropriate to stay with family or friends at this particular time. But it's a very much needed service because you just don't know what to do when a fire happens. It's not something that you're trained for. So That's on the fire side of it. And then we do have some educational programs for children K through 12 and 3 through 5 in the school systems, where we talk to them about home fires and what kinds of threats might be in their community, whether it's flooding or winter storm or summer storm, and how to cope with that and how to prepare for it. So they get a pillowcase, they get to decorate the pillowcase, and then they put all their emergency items in there, their comfort items that they would need. They can just grab it and run out of the house. It also helps to assist with parents to get them to do that home escape plan. So we do have a education program for homeowners. This spring, we're not going in to install smoke alarms at this particular time because of COVID, but we may do some activities by phone or other virtual means to help people plan that escape plan. If people think they have all the time to get out, you've got 2 minutes or less to be safe. So that means to get yourself, your family, your pets out of the house. So that takes some planning and some practice. So we encourage that through those education programs.
Okay. So I would imagine a lot of those services are the same if someone loses their house in, say, a tornado or flood or something like that.
Well, they're a little bit expanded. A tornado or a flood, power outage. We may put up a shelter where people need to stay for more than a few days. We would make sure that people are fed and that they have water. Then there's also, if there's debris cleanup, we provide shovels and rakes, garbage bags, gloves, goggles. We work with other health agencies to maybe have tetanus shots. We put together resource centers. We pull together people in the community, things that we think people in recovery would need, other services that they might need. And we put that together and we have a one-stop shop. We call it a multi-agency resource center. So we host those and we invite people to come in and get the long-term support that they need.
Okay. And if someone wants to work on a home escape plan, what would be their first step? How do they access the tools?
You can go to redcross.org and look at the preparedness tab. There's lots of information out there. They can contact me personally and I can mail them. We have little whiteboards that are erasable that you can draw out your home and make your escape plan on there. And then there's a little magnet that comes with it. You can post it on your refrigerator. So they could contact me directly and we could get that out to them. And then we could have someone call them and walk them through the process to help them with it. Okay. It's really an important and really important piece, especially if you have children, how to get out of your home and where to meet, where's your safe place, so that we know you're out and we don't go back in for you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Switching over to businesses here, what would you say, I'm going to put you on the spot here, what would you say is the most important thing for businesses to do?
I would say that continuity planning through Ready Rating. How do you protect your data? How do you work with your folks? How do you support them and their families through emergency? That's the most important thing through Ready Rating. And then also that the CPR and first aid, you never know when someone is going to need that, and you can really save a life. A life is invaluable. You can't put a price on it. And it impacts so many people when someone passes, especially unexpectedly. So there are things that we can do. We feel helpless sometimes, but there are things that we can do. We can be trained in CPR, first aid, and you can look at your continuity planning through Ready Rating, and do the best you can. Things still happen, but at least you were prepared and you tried. You did your best.
Excellent. Okay. And you said you're looking for volunteers. So what are some of the things that a volunteer could expect to be involved with?
Well, the disaster action team, the people that respond to home fires, is part of it. They're the educators that train the elementary students. There's also a Be Red Cross Ready program for adults. So there's educators. We have mental health professionals. We have nurses. We have people that focus on logistics, how we move things around and count things. We're always doing that. There are leadership positions. We're looking for board members. We're looking for committee members. I think just about any job that you would want to do, we have it somewhere. We have people that have accounting backgrounds and they take care of the client cards. If we give you a client card, a debit card, or if we transfer money to your account, there's people that keep track of all those things. There's people that do fundraising. People that go to community-based outreach centers those are medical centers for veterans. They may go there a couple times a week and serve coffee and just talk to people, or they may go to a veterans home and just talk to people. Some people have service dogs that they take in. There's a program where they sit with a dying veteran that doesn't have family, so they're not alone. There's just a whole world of opportunities that they could explore. I would encourage anyone just to start that application and talk with someone in our screening center, and they can tell you more about those positions. Lots of positions out there.
Okay. So tell us once more the best way to reach you, to either talk to you or to get more information.
More information would be redcross.org. To talk to me would be my cell phone, 715-409-0815.
Anything else you would like to share with our area businesses or organizations?
Just really encourage them to take a look at our resources and try it out. Really, take it seriously. That Ready Rating program, I think, is a good one, especially for small businesses. And if you'd like to host a blood drive, please let me know. We're always looking for those spots. If you want to get more involved, just give me a call and we'll have a talk. We can talk about what your interests are, and I'm sure we can find a match.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you, Wendy. And again, Wendy is with the North Central chapter of Wisconsin American Red Cross. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.